Our next presentation would be from our Bhakti Center West San Francisco team. Will show the report. This will be presented by Ananta Chaitanya Prabhu. Haribo.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, everyone. It's okay, I'll stand. I like to stand. So how many of you know that we have a center in San Francisco? Wonderful. So, Bhakti Center West, now it's called Bhakti SF, is a little project happening up in San Francisco, and it includes Navina Nirada Prabhu, whom a lot of you know. So we're doing Western outreach. We're kind of trying to create a space where regular people can feel comfortable, so nice kind of ambient space. And yeah, I mean, for those of you who've seen it, you know what it's like. And at the same time, we're doing all the book distribution and everything. So I didn't actually know that we were doing presentations. So I just quickly compiled this. I put a few stats for 2019 for our Harinam, book distribution, and for the center. So let's have a look. So book distribution, San Francisco, we distributed over 20,000 books. I don't know what that is. So that's like 99% Navina Nirada Prabhu, and like 1% all the rest of us. But it is a team, so we're all in it together. And Lakshmi collection, over 65,000. And those are kind of the core members as of now in the book distribution. We also do weekly Harinams. Every Friday we're out at Market and Powell. And this has been going non-stop for the whole year. So we've done over 100 hours on the street chanting. And we have lots of volunteers that come, like Vaikuntanath Prabhu. He's a Prabhupada disciple in San Francisco. And Bhakta Eric has been helping a lot with the Harinams, organizing them the last few months. And Vaninath Prabhu, Bhakta Brian. These are kind of San Francisco regular devotees. We don't see them down here much, but they're all part of the team up there, so they've been helping keeping the Harinam alive. And so now a little bit for the center. So we've conducted, we hold 2 weekly programs, Krishna conscious programs. We do a Thursday night kirtan and a Sunday festival. So we've done over 100 Krishna conscious events last year, and we also have cultural events like cooking classes, yoga classes, workshops, things like that. So we're kind of trying to see how we can reach people. And some of our goals, which I'll show you later for 2020, is to market ourselves more in the corporate environment, that people can come to the center like a retreat center. So we had to move places last year, and So that was a big operation. So we have all the devotees that have been helping, and there's way more than that. I just, off the top of my head, I just put a few of the devotees down. We've also rebranded the center. So we have a new website and a new, I mean, it's the same website, we have a new domain now, and it's called Bhakti SF instead of Bhakti Center West. So we're now on Folsom Street. It's a little bit over. So it's in downtown San Francisco. So it's pretty amazing that we have that. There's a branch of ISV, and we're there right in the middle of San Francisco. So we've been blessed with that space somehow, so we should really use it in Krishna service. It's still empty most of the time because we're lacking volunteers. So it's basically, we have it 24/7. We can have events there every night, but we're still working to get more devotees involved. So we did a whole renovation this year with like painting and everything. We basically transformed because we kind of had to move spaces, so kind of what was kind of an underground garage, we've kind of now transformed it into a nice yoga center. So there are a few photos here. I'm not sure if they're going to load. They wouldn't load on my app, so I wasn't expecting them to load here, but I mean, it's Google Sheets. It should. Oh yeah, there's some. So that's what our space looks like now. So it's not like a temple. It's just like a community space. So we've made everything kind of ambient. We have nice music and everything playing. So invite people, and yeah. Let's see if we can get some other. Can you slide along? Can you slide to some of the other pictures? Or, yeah, I can't do it from here. Okay, never mind. Maybe we can just show the website, bhaktisf.com. Can we show that? So a big part of kind of our what we're trying to do is kind of branding it, which it's been really difficult. So, and also getting people to sign up for events and things, like bringing people in. So we have a whole kind of, we're breaking our brains how to bring people in, and at the same time not kind of pull too far from what Srila Prabhupada wants. So yeah, we have a new event sign-up system now where anyone can just click on the event on the website and you can register straight away. So we have a lot of sponsors and volunteers. Like this plugin was given to us just by an entrepreneur in San Francisco. Is very favorable to the center, so we're using his plugin for the events. And yeah, we have a calendar, so we have a weekly schedule further down on the page. Anyway, so that's a little bit about Bhakti SF if you don't already know. And our goals for 2020, I just put down a few. We can go back to the presentation. So we want to double the program attendance. So the space is still not always full. The biggest event is Sunday nights. We have had some events where it's been really full, but still I think we can try to double the program attendance for 2020. And so we're going to work on making brochures for corporate marketing as well, that we can get more people to come through the center for yoga classes and kirtan. And we also want to establish an ashram space in San Francisco. So a lot of new people are coming to the center, and sometimes we bring them here on Saturday mornings, but we want to have a space for people to practice full time and train, take up training and living a devotional life, waking up early and everything. So, yeah, but it's very difficult. SF is a difficult place. So, is there anything else I should mention? Any questions?
I forgot to ask Bhakti and Carly about this, but I had some discussion with her about maybe being able to give people gift certificates to go to your dinners. Because I mean, just because of me, my commute and stuff, I've tried many times and I'm just never gonna, I know, Krishna willing, I'll make it sometime, the Friday night event or something like that. But I know people where I feel like if I could give them, so have you come up with a gift certificate program? Because that might be a way for some of us to nudge people we know. Is that something that you're interested in? And would everyone might be interested in that?
It sounds great. We haven't started it yet, but it's a good idea. And yeah, especially offering like free passes and kind of things, right? Yeah. It's like you sign up and you pay at the door, so to just get them over that hump. Yeah, I agree. Good idea. Anything else? Vaisheshika Maharaj?
It's been a long time coming, and it's really beautiful what you're all doing there in San Francisco. I was impressed by the hours on Market and Powell, bringing the transcendental vibration back to San Francisco. Thousands of books going out, and the regular programs where people can come and feel at home in their own culture and practice Krishna consciousness. So we all owe you and the team a debt of gratitude for the consistency through which you've presented this, through your great determination. So thank you to the whole team. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody. So I'm sorry I was not notified about the presentation from San Francisco side. But one thing I'm happy to announce today is that we recently purchased a van. It's parked in the parking lot. So that van, the purpose will be the traveling Sankirtan party. So we purchased it from Kansas City, Rupanuga Valley College. So it's pretty much built for Sankirtan. And in last couple of weeks, it's been like mechanical repairs been taken care of. So that part is done. Next couple of weeks, unfortunately, you still have to see it in the parking lot, because comes the aesthetical remodeling outside and inside the van. And I would say like 50%, like of 60% of work is done, just some small remodeling inside. And so the plan is to travel. We already discussed the vision. Naveen Nirada Prabhu, he's like a leader for that project. So the vision is that we will stay locally, probably within our reach, because there are multiple vans in the US right now that travel. Majority of them, they do like whole United States or like big chunk of land, But in this way, a lot of books get distributed, and they cover big area. But cultivation-wise, it's really hard, to attract people. So our vision is we will try to, just stay locally, try to bring people to ISV. In this way, we can also like come here once a week or, like twice a month, so keep track if they're coming, keep in touch with them. So, so we also stay locally. So that's a vision. And sometimes, of course, once in a while, we will go like in the summer, Lake Tahoe or national parks. We already went to Lake Tahoe 3 months ago. It's been great. I feel like we should open a center there, like a Bhakti center of Lake Tahoe or something, because it's just like people are super nice. It's all nature. They all open-minded. They all like, into outdoor stuff. and yeah, for books it's been great. It's a big traffic. And so many other places, like we will go up north. There's a Humboldt County, Humboldt University of Humboldt, or I don't know how it's called. People are also very friendly. And once in a while, we might go to Oregon and Washington, because if you look in nationwide, the western part of country is not really covered with books. You know, we have San Diego, LA, of course, is big. Then we have ISV. About that, I'm not sure if there's like much book distribution going a lot. So, yeah, the west of the United States, like 3 states, California, I would say Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. But mainly, of course, we want to stay local. We want to attract people here, because I feel like, once again, if you travel in many states, yes, we can distribute a lot of books, cover a big area. We can like keep track of bringing people to temple. And I feel like if we just cultivate people so they can also become Sankirtan devotees, then we can be more efficient. So yeah, that's the plan. Thank you for your attention. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ananta Chaitanya Prabhu, and also Bhakta Alex Prabhu, for a beautiful presentation. Now, next, we will have the most awaited, the Kids Sankirtan team presentation. And Kameshwari will present.
Hare Krishna. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Name Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nivrishisha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, I'm presenting on behalf of all the kids and parents at ISV. All the points that we have collected here is after meeting with the team, and we have collectively come upon with this. The year 2019, we had raised the goal from 10% contribution to 16%, and most of the time 20% or above was done for each MSF, per MSF. And for the whole year of 2019, 16,960 book points were done, and over $33,000 were raised. 144 Srimad Bhagavatams were distributed, and 2,518 Bhagavad Gitas were distributed. So that is for the December marathon. After meeting with the kids, the goal was decided 2,700 book points. But actually it was done 6,940 book points were done, 36 Srimad Bhagavatam, and 1,760 Bhagavad Gita, and over $9,000 Lakshmi was raised just for marathon. So the highlights for the 2019, monthly Sankirtan outing was started by ISC Youth under the guidance of His Grace Madhav Govinda Prabhu. Madhav Govinda Prabhu gave this wonderful idea, and kids really loved it. It was started in July as part of the August Janmashtami MSF. And the first monthly Sankirtan outing, kids had a goal for 20 kids participation, 150 book points. And actually, were able to achieve 32 kids participation and 266 book points. And within a single day, they raised over $800. Lakshmi. Also, from kids' team point of view, we were thinking that there is a lot of effort that kids put, but we wanted more book points. So one day Shigopal Prabhu suggested that you can pack this book for a gift, and if you can include Bhagavad Gita SSR and higher taste, it will be 3.5 points for each. So we really liked the idea. And kids really had fun distributing Trimurti sets and lot of fun packing. They want to pack Trimurti sets every Sunday. They keep on asking. Overall, it was very good. Trimurti sets was really good for the whole team. And also we did orientation sessions by Madha Govinda Prabhu over the Skype for the older kids. And it was few sessions for a few weeks were done where they learned different aspects of Sankirtan, and also they did some real field scenarios and etc. It was interactive. It was very beneficial also. And as a highlight, we also had goal to start Bhagavad Gita team in the Tri-Valley and Fremont area, which we were able to do. And in the process, we have really identified some good teams that, they work together very nicely. Especially, I would like to mention Durga Prasad Prabhu and Pawan Prabhu. They're sitting next to each other. They're really good friends, and they always go together. And their kids are friends. So the whole team works very nicely, and they're very, very consistent. And sometimes with Bhagavatam, we actually Bhagavad Gita teams also get good, nice amount of donations. And when we asked the team what was the highlights for the, and among the very anonymously, like everybody actually together mentioned Krishna Prasad. So Krishna Karuna Prabhu, Sundari Gopika Mataji have been bringing prasadam for Sankirtan team for over 8 years now, close to 9 years, and they are very consistent. They don't want to give that service. Very rarely, somebody gets a chance to do something, but they are very attached and very sincerely they serve, and actually it attracts a lot of devotees to the Sankirtan. And also we have a lot of other Matajis who are helping with prasadam. So, devotees have extended themselves. It helps in the team. So in the room per improvement, we have been struggling with this problem for this is a lot of devotees come in the same location for the kids team, and it's ongoing, and we are trying to work around it. So we when the whole team comes, and if lot of devotees are there, then we try to distribute among different locations. So Ramrati Prabhu generally takes a team of Bhagavad Gita team to Indian stores, and then then the Bhagavatam team becomes little stable. So that has been working very well. But we need devotees to sign up ahead of time. That helps. So we need more kids participation in Tri-Valley and South Bay, and we would really request parents. The kids really want to go. I know just now Shirisha Mataji was telling, and Anvaya is telling that she wants to go out distribute books. So kids really want to go, but actually we really we want to facilitate that. At the same time, we want to have contained teams which are good size and not too big, so that everybody is engaged properly. We also want to have book storage in Fremont and South Bay. In Pleasanton, Tri-Valley, we already have Pranagopika Mataji and Selva Prabhu having some books with them, which team can go and pick up and use it. So in Fremont, we have some sort of storage, but we have to work on it. So also we need to make more at Sankirtan. We want to make it more fun, and we want to discuss more about that among the team and see how we can achieve that. We also were thinking one point I put it there which worked very well. Several times after the Sankirtan, we get together in one of the devotees' home, and then we have prasadam together and discuss about the Sankirtan for the day. That really actually has helped. It's like team building, bonding, and then you discuss, all the interactions that happen on the book distribution. It really concludes in a very nice way. So the goals that the team has come up with 10% increase for the book points. So 16,960 was done. So we are planning to, Krishna willing, do 18,657 book points. And there was a request from the kids to have a book distribution club, and we are planning to work on it. And there is also Sankirtan certification that Vaisheshika Prabhu has mentioned about this idea, and I just put little description in these slides over here. So for the book distribution club, it is more about equipping all the young kids in the youth with more skills. Actually, Vaisheshika Prabhu the other day, he was mentioning that Sankirtan is in the kids' DNA. It comes with them. So it's coming from their parents, all the sincere parents, and their sadhana, everything, everything they are following at the home. It shows how the kids are actually following. They can actually teach Sankirtan. But we want to facilitate. And so in the book distribution club, mainly we will be having focus on how to distribute different books. Regularly we do, does that mean 5 minutes? Language books, language cards. Also learning, this is requests came from the kids. They want to learn about different parts of India, different world culture and different faith, so that they can make a connection. Also read different books, and different chapters can be divided to make a presentations. They can want to make some videos and as a part of, and some dramas. So for the Sankirtan certification, this is basically it is basically because there are a lot of new devotees and kids are joining. So we need to, just make them aware what is Sankirtan about and how they can go about it. So it can be a module for 5 to 6, 7, some sessions where they learn about the basics and some skills to present the books and the attitude and the mood. And it can be a certification base, so it can be repeated every year within the community and in different communities, etc. So for the improvements, we thought we really need to have smaller teams and more teams. More Indian stores, because many times, actually a lot of parents prefer going, closer distances, and they only have this much amount of time. So for that situation, actually Indian stores work well within their local area. If one family, 2 adults, 2 kids, or 1 adult, 2 kids can go for 1.5 hours within an Indian store, more than enough. And also Pranagopika Mataji, and there was a discussion that she was going to ask for Manabadi locations, which is a Telugu school. And there are a lot of new temples that came in Tri-Valley area where she would like to have some permissions to set up the tables. So it is, locally, it will benefit the local team. They can actually go there and distribute. Improvements, we also need to carry other titles than Bhagavad Gita and Krishna books. So we want to do that. Devotee care, actually naturally devotees are doing a lot for each other, going beyond the call of duty. I would like to mention Achyuta Kumar Prabhu always, picks up the devotees and drops the devotees who are not, sometimes parents are not available, and devotees need ride. And Prabhu does a lot. And and things like that, so that actually devotees, if they just because of some help they need and they're not able to participate, we want to facilitate that. So devotees are doing naturally, but we want to be mindful about it and put effort in that in that area, so that everybody is taken care. And that is about it for the kids Sankirtan. If you have any questions yeah. So there's 15 minutes that we have, and if you have any feedback, inputs or suggestions, then we'll be happy to. Mataji is there.
So first of all, I just want to say that's really impressive. And as someone who hasn't really, until Thanksgiving or Black Friday, I hadn't distributed books in 25 years, I'm pretty sure. I tried to do the math, and so I'm hats off to all of you, because when I was your age, I was pretty scared of book distribution, and I still haven't completely gotten over it. Two things. First of all, if you do, I'm trying not to volunteer for anything that I don't know that I can do, but if there is a thing where people want to talk about world culture and how different religions connect as far as point of discussion, that's something I would like to volunteer for. So if I can get your information. And I was just wondering, when I was a kid, there were these kids' Krishna books. They were like the same silver color. They were about 1 centimeter thick. Do they still exist? Are we still distributing them?
3-volume Krishna book.
The 3-volume, they're like big. And then there was all these books like Kaliya and Prahlad and Sudam Brahman, and I haven't seen any of those in a long time. Like,
we do have some of them.
And so are those being distributed by kids?
Yes, some. You want to say something? Go ahead. So we do have some children's books that we take out on Sankirtan, and yeah, we do have sometimes. Yes. Yes, mainly our focus is BBT books, but we do have sometimes many. They're not. They are available, I believe. Yeah. Any more questions?
They are available in temple, Mataji, and we show the books. We tell about like kid-friendly books, so that they can come to temple and collect whatever topics they have. But we don't take them to distribute.
Actually, many times these books are taken and displayed on the tables.
Only for display, but we don't distribute just like BBT books.
Right, not on the door-to-door, correct, but on table setups. SKP Prabhu has something.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you share your teaching kids, like, sometimes I go out with them. Our kids, ISV kids they're really very good in philosophy and, Shastra, because I was distributing with Annamai, and he said to one house when I knocked the door, he told that, she said, I'm reading other books than Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. He said, other books are inorganic food. Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is organic food. She really liked that answer, and she immediately took Bhagavatam on that day. So, and thank you for having that, teaching kids. It's nice in Shastric way, and also they are able to connect more nicely now. Thank you.
Yeah, the credit, Anamaya Apramaya, the credit goes to their parents, and yeah, they are really fired.
I just wanted to appreciate Kameshwari for all her efforts she's put for all these years. So, yeah, more than a couple of decades. Thank you.
So from location point of view, we have Ramprati Prabhu. I just wanted to mention, because we always run out of locations, but Ramprati Prabhu, within Fremont, he finds so many locations within location. I don't know, it never exhausted so far. And he's always ready with the books. And yeah, so everybody is doing so much. Any more suggestions for us to improve? Selva Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, can you able to put the label for each book, address label, especially distributed in Indian stores?
Yes,
So-
we can put the labels, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. To just what Selva Prabhu mentioned about the labels, if the time doesn't permit, because if it requires a lot of efforts, because it might be impossible, right, to open all the boxes and put the labels and put them back. So we can have, Selva Prabhu was showing me the labels he takes with him, and when he gives the book, he just put it. So we can take the labels with us, and whenever we are giving distribution, just like we give the cards, right, temple cards. So temple cards, it might slip from them. They might, it might get lost. So if we just give the book and put the label, just like the card, giving them rather than giving the card, we
Very
can just
nice
put the
idea,
label.
Prabhuji. Yeah. Earlier we used to stamp the books, and we also used to stick the stickers, labels. Yeah, but this is very good
label
idea.
or stamping, whatever
Yeah.
works, But then it always, stays. So
Yes.
it has the temple address and all.
Mm.
I was also thinking if we have temple cards with the new updated timings, because whenever we give them out, we have to tell them that they're new timings.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're already on the way, as Malini is saying, with printed. Any more points from the kids? Gora has something?
Sometimes when we go with the language books, so when we meet people that can't speak English that well, and they want the language books at the spot, it becomes hard to find each one, because since we don't know, and every time we have to look at the third page to find out what language it is, if we could just have some sort of label on the book that this is Chinese, this is like Vietnamese, so we know exactly when to give it, so it becomes easy.
Okay, point noted.
Just adding on with when we go door to door, and sometimes we meet like people that speak different languages. Before we used to have the language cards, the flip cards, and now I have found that we don't really carry it around as often. So maybe if we get like multiple copies of that and carry it around as we're
Language cards, okay. So I think Pawan Prabhu has one more point.
Just what Gora mentioned regarding the language, right?
Labeling the language.
Yeah, labeling. Maybe we can, that's a good idea, but we can also have, just by seeing the books, we can recognize some kind of,
Yes, actually,
some session or orientation kind of thing.
if we keep doing the books, we will know it, over the period of time. Because like Western Sankirtan, they really can identify quickly because they're handling it very often. So, yeah, I think with practice we identify it faster. But I think as a part of Book Distribution Club, we will plan some activity where, the kids can get hands-on with all those different kinds of books, all of us. I also wanted to mention one more point for the encouraging the kids' participation. Last year, we were thinking about an idea that rewarding the kids who participate in Sankirtan for 10 weekends in a row. And though there were some concerns from some parents, we did not continue the idea, but Gora was first one to achieve that last year. He came 10 Saturdays of the February, and then he came to me, Mataji, 10 Saturdays are done. And it was very inspiring. Thank you, Gaurav. So we plan to do some discussion on that, and I think that's a good idea, and just wanted to, we'll discuss with the team and come up with the rewards. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now we will have some presentations from our book distribution operations team, and starting with Sri Gopal Prabhu, who will actually mention multiple aspects of our book reporting, as well as scores, how to tabulate and everything. He'll give us some insight.
Om Ajnantimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmitam Mena Tasmaye Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So I would be mention about how we report the books, and I will go through some statistics about the books, and also how we do with compared to LA, and team types, and general distribution of the books. So. Okay, so the highlights for 2019, where we launched the Sankirtan management system. So devotees would log into the site, it's mentioned below. They would log in through their Gmail address, and then we report the scores. The advantage with this is that everything is stored in the database, and we can slice and dice and run some analytics, and which would help us in organizing and planning our Sankirtan. So we had about 435 reports that were reported. Out of that, 345 were reported online. That is about 80% of adoption rate. So that's very good for the first year.
What do you mean by a report?
So, so reported means they have to use this online management system.
Who's they?
The devotees. So whoever distributes the books, they report, they go to this site and they report their scores.
I see.
And others, 20%, around 20% were manually reported, means they just send an email to the group and things. They are not using the database.
Okay, thank you.
So this is the location stats from the from the database. So if you see, we did the Fremont is the widely distributed location. So lot of and then the next is Mountain View, San Francisco and San Ramon. So we get the statistics here. In the Bay Area, we have about, in the three major counties, we have about 41 cities. And throughout the extended Bay Area, we have about more than 100 cities. So there is a lot of scope and lot of scope for distributing the books. So this gives us the perspective of where we are touching, where we are going, so we can plan accordingly. So this is the statistics about the most number of reports reported by a particular team. If you see, the Western Sankirtan has reported the most number of reports. So that means, this gives us the idea that they are going more often and, and more spots and followed by the kids. And, and then we have individual. Individual is, who go individually and they report their scores. Door to door and the weekend warriors, probably we can combine them. Sometimes they report as door to door and weekend warriors. The others is, others, they just, if they don't fall into any other category, they do other, and corporate, Kirtan Mellows, and Motal Gita. So, coming to the books points that we did for the last year. So 2019, we did about 2,074 book points. 274,000 book points. 2019. I think it's hard to see from here. Yeah, I can see. Because I can't see that, I need glasses. So, so 274,000 book points is what we reported for the whole year for the ISV. And last year, we did about 178,000 books, and that's about 53% year-over-year growth for us. If you see in the red color, that is the LA, how much they did in 2019. They did about 207,000 book points for 2009. Actually, there's a mistake. That's for 2018, and 2020 should be 2019. Yeah. Yeah, that's a mistake. Sorry about that. Yeah. And with regards to the Lakshmi, in 2018, we did about $669,000, and in 2019, we did about $746,000. So that's year-over-year growth of 11%. Now, with respect to the WSN book points that we report every month, this is the distribution for the ISV. For every month, if you see, we start very slow, in the first half of the year. And then we have two big spikes in the whole year. One is in June, which is BVT, and which is Bhakti Vinod Thakur's disappearance day, and then December is, for the December marathon. So these are the two spikes. We start very slow in the beginning of the year. So we need to, see how we can, increase, and very consistent on month-to-month basis.
What's with July?
July is, we did about 500 books. So that's why it doesn't show actually, because of the scale.
So my question remains, what's with July? What happened?
So, so sometimes what happens is there is a festival that happens like Janmashtami, and devotees don't report for that month. They report for the next month. So if you see, so July we have some, there is nothing, only few books, and then August we have,
okay.
Yeah.
We have a gap between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Janmashtami. We have a bigger gap. So that's why devotees go and distribute. We report all the books just before the MSF offering. So that's why this is an inconsistency.
So this is month-to-month comparison with LA. If you see Los Angeles, that's in red color, and ISV is in blue. And the December month is not mentioned here, as the LA has, we don't know how much LA did. So if you see January, we did like maybe 2,000 book points, and they are like 10,000, and the differences increases by the 6 months. There is a wide, the gap increases, and then we do huge on Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and then we are almost par, with the total of 6 months. So this gives us the idea that where we can channel our energy, and so that we can be very consistent and increase our book points month to month. For 2019, we beat LA in 3 MSFs. We don't know December. I'm thinking that we would beat, but one was in June, and then another was in November. But if we can beat LA every month, that would be nice. Yeah. So this is the Lakshmi and book points by the team type. Some of the major team types, especially the teams who go on door to door and street Sankirtan and things like that. So I just mentioned those teams here. If you see Bhakti Center, they did huge. They did about 76,000 Lakshmi, and the book points were about 18,000, but the total number of books they did about over 25,000. So they do huge, and for less book points they get a lot of Lakshmi. It's about $4. If you calculate, it will be like $4 per book point. And Western Sankirtan, they collected about 50,000, and kids, they collected 33,000 of Lakshmi. And where we are lacking is in the Kirtan Oasis. Of course, we tend to be more generous in distributing books and not much concentrate on the Lakshmi. But overall, in 2019, there was a dip in Lakshmi collection in Kirtan Oasis. Probably, I think we were thinking that maybe it's because Madhav Govinda Prabhu was not there, he was leading the charge, but we need to analyze and see what happened. So these are the total book statistics by category wise. We distributed 114 CC sets, Srimad Bhagavatam sets about 566, Motal Gita did 62,000, Bhagavad Gitas which were distributed hand to hand, which was like 17,000, and the large is 16,000, medium 14,000, small 45,000, and the huge increase that we did for 2019, it was Arabic and Farsi. We did about more than 5,000 Arabic and Farsi books. The improvements for 2020, we were thinking, because we are little inconsistent in the MSF scores, and we don't really track till the end that how we are doing. So we are trying to see if we can have a quarterly goals for the book points and tracking of the scores. This also will give us to calculate quarter over quarter growth, per year. And this quarter also lines up very well with our MSF, because the first quarter is at the end of Gaur Purnima, second is at the end of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, third is at the end of Janmashtami and Bhadra Purnima, and the fourth quarter is December. So it aligns very well, because each quarter we have a very big festival, and we can give a big push for every quarter so that we make our quarterly goals. And the second improvement that we would like to have is the reporting of the scores. We would like devotees to report it regularly and as soon as possible. And we would like to implement to have a freeze on score reporting a midnight before the MSF offering. So what it gives us is that it gives time for us to tabulate the scores. And the Sankirtan leaders, they will go through their goals and their offering, because we need to proofread the offering and meditate. They need to meditate and proofread so that we we are not rushed into the scores, and sometimes we do have to rush into reporting the scores and things. So we would strictly be following this, but it's again, if we have time, we would include the scores that are reported after midnight, but that would be the freezing. So these are the improvements that would like to do. And thank you for devotees for using this, the monthly Sankirtan management system. I know this is the first 1.0 release, as if you could call. There are a lot of shortcomings, but devotees are very merciful to use that system, and that helps us in tracking the things. Okay, thank you. I think I'm done.
I have a few points. I found that the graph's really helpful when you have two colors. And if we're chasing somebody or something, then I think it'll help us to move forward a little bit. Just like at the racetrack, when the dogs race at the racetrack, they put a rabbit out there. It's a mechanical rabbit, not real. And it pulls along really fast, and that's why the dogs run. Or on the racetrack with cars, they have a pacer car. Even in track and field, they have that. So I think the month-to-month could be really boosted by having this graphic of what we're actually going after as far as the number of books goes. If we could see the target, then we can hit it on a regular basis. So I like that a lot. And that ties into the next point, which is that we're developing, that is headed by Jai Madhava Prabhu and the BBT team, International BBT, a brand new digital Sankirtan newsletter. Are you in sync? Because this is exactly the kind of stuff that we're trying to develop in real time, digital measurements, so that everybody can see what's going on.
Yes. So is this the same JP Prabhu is working on?
The artist formerly known as JP is now known as JM.
Oh yeah.
As in Jaya Madhava.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so I think Prabhu had spoken to me, and then we are in sync, and that's one of the reasons that we are not putting much effort in improving this thing, because there are some shortcomings, and then we have.
But you're synced up?
Yes. So yeah.
Are you on the team?
I mean, Prabhu already, he tells me, he gets me some input on.
Okay, yeah, you should have a lot of input, because this is right where you live. And the last point I have is, I remember when we were trying to get everybody to come to Harinam on time, and we did the first 10 people who showed up would get a prize. I didn't think it would work, but actually it did. So I was thinking with scores, rather than putting a freeze, which sounds pretty ominous. I mean, you could have a freeze, but also you could say, the first 10 or 20 people that report get something,
Okay, Prabhu.
I just noticed that kind of thing works.
Any other? Yeah.
Prabhu, the graph which was showing the total number of book points and Lakshmi points, I need to. Can you bring it back? So in that graph.
Oh. No, it's a different. Yeah. So which graph are you?
That with Lakshmi points and book points by team wise. That one.
No, that's total.
Okay.
No, actually it's down.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one. So there is Bhakti Center. There is Western Sankirtan team. There is kids, Kirtan voices.
Yeah.
What about the adults team?
So adults team, the reason is because they do it differently. I haven't put it. They do door to door and sometime weekend warriors. But I think there Lakshmi, it's around 60,000, you would say, roughly. But they are all distributed, so we really can't quantify because they are reporting in different things. And this is just door to door and on the streets distribution.
Can I ask a couple of probably dumb questions, but I'm guessing that if I don't know the answer, maybe somebody else doesn't either. So first of all, the points, each book is worth different points, correct?
Yes.
And is that in any way tied to their cost? So when I see a 50% increase in points and a 10% increase in money, or Lakshmi, I'm sorry. Ooh, that was a. Then am I correct in wondering if that proportion is meaningful or not?
I think generally the number of points is number of pages in a book. I think that would quantify to
I see. So it's possible that that some of the shorter books are actually much cheaper because they're paperbacks or something like
Right,
that. So
exactly.
it doesn't mean that we're necessarily in danger or something from this discrepancy. And then my other question is going back to the July issue, because I'm still confused about that, because Rath Yatra was in July this year. And I personally bought like 5 books from you guys then.
Yeah, so
that's like 10%.
So what
So when you file a report, can you backdate it and say, oh yeah, I know I'm filing this report and it's August 1st, but actually I distributed these books in July, or no?
So once we take the books as the devotees report the books, but once the deadline to the WSN passes, so we can back report, but generally we carry you to the next MSF.
So basically the date that I file the report is the date, not that I've done this, but the date that I file the report is the date that gets logged. There's not 2 dates written on it.
Actually, we keep track of both the dates, but the date that is being reported is what mostly we take into consideration.
Thank you.
Just to keep the thing simple, otherwise it's too much, yeah.
Prabhu, maybe Vaisheshka Prabhu says we have to beat India. So if you can get a graph of Delhi, so with the LA, so is it a good idea, Prabhu? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just I think.
Yeah, we have to beat India. Actually, when I was at the GBC meetings, I was lobbying wherever I went and telling the American GBCs, it's like, enough of this. We have to beat India. And when I talked to Shamohini last night or the night before, she said that Bhakti Marg Swami came home all fired up. He said, we have to beat India. So that's good. We should have a rabbit to be chasing. We need to have that. And I really like these comparison charts. You could even, have some blown out that show Gideons or other kinds of things that we can compare to, because it helps to get us off a plateau.
Okay. Yeah. So I think
definitely
Delhi,
beat India.
So they do, I think just in December, I was looking at the numbers, I think they do in order of 400,000 book points or something, 400 or something.
So Mataji, coming back to your point that 10% and 50% in Lakshmi, if you have 500,000, you can donate to us. So we can make it 50%.
India is one thing, but if we're on an index, like the reason we have LA on the chart is because they've been in front for a long time, and we passed them in Lakshmi, and now we'll pass them in book points. But we should pick one out of India, as like an index, so that we can track that. So we're tracking against who's big. Delhi?
Yeah, Delhi.
Is Delhi the biggest?
Yes.
Then we should have Mayapur's bigger?
No, Delhi is the big.
Okay, then Delhi should be on there. Because
Okay.
every year, every month, every year, whatever, we should be looking at LA for here and Delhi for the world.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Can you take those locations
Yes.
and map them?
So we can map them. We
Yeah.
have the exact address, and as devotees report, we do have that, and we can map around the.
Yeah, because if you take like his example of he had that perfect map of all of the halal stores,
Yes.
then if you put it on a map, then the places that you're missing will jump out, and then you can send kids there
Yes,
instead or
yes.
something.
Yeah, we have the, so there are a lot of things that we can get into, so right now everything is in database, so whatever information we want, we can slice and dice and do a lot of things from the database. Prabhu, you have something?
I like that idea of markers. We were experimenting previously with the way in which your smartphone can lay down a marker wherever you go, because it's always tracking. And Yugadharma Prabhu had showed us the way that when you're on Sankirtan during the day, every time you distribute a book, you can just hit a button and it marks it on the map at the end of the day. And I think that kind of tracking might be interesting too.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, my question is very similar to what Mataji mentioned. So, are we going to plan that, if suppose we are doing a lot of book distribution in like Fremont and those areas, are we going to diversify and go to some locations where we are not doing that much?
Yeah, so this is the data that we have right now. Based on this data, however, Sankirtan leaders decide, or everyone needs to strategize and see, what is the best criteria to go. Yeah. So this is data. So it's giving us a lot of data. So now we can pull up this data and then plan and strategize. Yeah.
Thank you.
On my last trip, I ran into we went to the Philadelphia preaching center for Mangalartik. And there's one devotee there that's practically fully focused on getting new spots and permits. And she's been really successful. She opened the Philly airport back up again. She's got a bunch of spots in really hard to get places. And I asked her, what's your technique? What's your secret? She said, I'm very annoying. And point was, she's tenacious and has a full focus on that. And what we're looking for, in part, is really the 20% activities that give us the 80% result. And finding new spots. For instance, when we got this Christmas festival, I saw that it was a huge result. I saw that on the graph and heard about it. And the more we can triangulate towards finding these places, that more facility, it opens up more spots. It's one of the most, it's the highest rate of return, I think, on an activity for book distribution, is finding the best spots and making sure that we're tracking those dollar for dollar as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Shri Gopal Prabhu, for such a detailed analysis. It also gave us a vision on where we should be focusing. Now we'll have Kumari Leela present, how we collect donations and what kind of follow-up we need to make. And she'll have a short presentation. And after that, we will have Venudhari Prabhu presenting our inventory management, how we are managing the books that we are getting, placing orders with BBT, and what improvements that we make.
Hare Krishna. So the donation management is a very simple and the back-end operation. Not very much familiar, but it's one of the biggest additions of the ISV book distribution and the sponsorship contributions. So some of the highlights for the 2019 and most of the year has been pretty much similar, that the donations has been procured for procuring the blessings from the dhams and visiting different swamis and getting us a lot of blessings to the local devotees over here. And as much as the devotees are encouraged, they all come together and feel inspired to and well-wishing to near and dear ones. And that's how the donation gets together. The major call-outs were the Gaur Purnima, Bhadra Purnima, and the December Marathon, especially recognized as the mercy packages this year. And the different sources that always we get is like mainly the temple congregation comes to the festival programs, then visiting guests get encouraged seeing the local devotees, as well as pretty much like whoever our online audience is, like we have throughout the year the online presence, and that's how everyone gets encouraged to contribute. The pretty much there's a small some of the numbers that overall through the pledges we got a $229,698 value, which is like almost like 35% of the total remittance that we give to BBT for 2019. But there are always challenges behind the scene, that how to track the end-to-end tracking of these donations that we receive. And the mainly is like just because devotees being so humble, they always don't remember what the good they do. So probably, so just out of humility, or some of like me, just the Jiva souls conditions and forget about like what I have pledged throughout the year, and then wake up the souls when the needed. The second thing is like various channels we have, like there are multiple things going around, like how many different ways the devotees can fulfill their pledges. It's like they are doing the corporate match, they might be doing some giving check directly to the Sonal Mataji, or some of the internal team is not aware. Sometimes the PayPal and the e-hundi, sometimes they use their credit card, and which comes with the different names, and pretty much not everyone is aware of what's their legal name versus their the name that we know them. And some of the one more challenge is like payment confirmation and how we can verify that end-to-end this pledge has been fulfilled. So the lot of room for improvements for the donations, that the first and foremost focus is how we can identify the end-to-end points, like how we can, when we are getting and having the pledge calls, maybe introduce some of the card, like we can get their information, basically their name, their legal name, and their email address. So we can follow up immediately with them with the thank you note and sending them the invoice. So they have in their database there as well that, this is a place has been made, such day, such occasions, and this is the amount. Then they can fulfill and provide the information as they fulfill, or they are still waiting for some more information. One of the good improvement that we are focusing and hoping that we can implement this year is like using the CRM donation app versus the G-Sheet. We have been continuously using the G-Sheet. We are having all the data available in G-Sheet, but sometimes when we need to collectively send out the reminders or follow up with the devotees, it's become very challenging, a lot of time consuming, rather than the just for the going to the different sheet. So that's why we are trying to have this common database where we can, just by the name of the devotee, we can pull up all the records, whatever the pledge has been they have made so far. The another thing is work with the respective teams. It's just like if the quarterly basis or the mid-year, we can check with the different teams, like a PLA got any match that have been fulfilled their pledge, or checking with how much cash or the check we have received so far. These are the pledge amount has been made for the mid-year, and these are the amount has been already deposited in our account. And the same thing for the year end. And of course, the yearly check-ins. So just for, I know everyone looks forward to find out their pledges around the last quarter, just because they know how much they need to get it done for the year. So that would be good reminder for everyone to provide the information they need. And there are a lot of points, but at least we are trying to achieve the end-to-end cycle that we can identify this year and work towards the more consistency. That is for it, and I'm open for more feedback and any of the suggestions anybody would like to offer.
Confirming your idea about the pledge cards, I did several fundraisers in December. The first one was in New York, and they had conceived of and created these pledge cards, and I was a little dubious because we'd never used them before, and I thought, you know, why mess with the formula? But then I saw it really worked well, because what happens is when you start making the call for the pledges, that's when somebody else starts handing out the cards, and everyone gets one in their hand. And for a lot of people, it's a little bit nerve-wracking to raise their hand. They're a little reticent about it, but they do fill out the cards. We found that at least a fourth of the people after the event in the temple room went out to the tables and they submitted their pledges through the cards at that time. And it also gives everyone a sense that everybody's eligible as well. Because let's say there's a couple hundred people in the temple room, everyone gets a card in their hand. It's tacit that means you're eligible. Because sometimes people can sort of think in their mind like, oh, this is just for somebody else. But if you have a card in your hand, plus it also, you can ask for as much information as you like on the card, and it really does help. So I think it's a must.
Any other suggestions or ideas? Nope. Thank you so much, Kumari Leela.
Just one other thing is, the more we think about fundraising outside the immediate congregation, I think that increases our chances of doing more each time. Otherwise, we're taking from the same pool, and you can get a little bit more, but I think a separate brainstorm is helpful in thinking about how to network outside at the same time. Yeah.
Kumarila has been doing this back-end collecting of all the donation funds and everything, because she may not be going so much on book distribution with Kunjari. She goes most of the times, but whatever little time she finds, she helps with this one. So thank you so much, Kumar. Next, Venudhari Prabhu will be presenting our inventory management service. He has been consistently doing this for many, many years now. And just 2 years ago, he found to help one more team member, Tarun Prabhu, who joined their team.
So, my name is Venudhari Gopaldas, and Tarun Prabhu is sitting at the back. We try to serve the inventory, book inventory here. When I started the service, Malini Mataji told that Vaisheshik Prabhu likes the Toronto inventory system the best, and we tried to have a call with them and try to see how we can implement some of their policies. We are not yet there, but hopefully we hope to get there someday in the future. So our vision is to have book and related tools like trolleys, cards, mantra meditation, pamphlets, posters, ready for mass book distribution for everyone, whoever wants to distribute, and at all times. To achieve this vision, our mission is to get books from BBT as much as we can hold here, arrange those books, received books from BBT in an orderly manner, organize and help make book sets, different sizes of book sets, Trimurti, Chaturbhuja, Panchatattva, Shad Goswami, and Saptarishi, whatever comes up. Ashtasakhi, yeah. Navayogendra, how much ever we can make. Yes, and lot of books, when devotees take, they come back and they are usually misplaced. So we try to arrange them in a proper places and keep the book area clean. And also be up to date on get as many trolleys or whatever is tools required, cards, for the distribution on time. So this is half of our service mostly. So getting books and arranging in the book shed, keeping a track of how many are still remaining and how many we can order. These are some of the languages we have in inventory: English, Spanish, Russian, Romanian, Arabic, Farsi, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, and the Indian subcontinent languages: Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, Gujarati, Bengali, Oriya, Kannada, Punjabi, Nepali. This is in 2019, these are the main books that we ordered. Bhagavad Gita, softbound is around 15,000 plus books, which counts up to 640 cases. SSR soft is around the same, which will be around 330 cases. Higher taste in 12K plus, 152 cases. POY 7,700. And Srimad Bhagavatam sets 400 plus, including the languages. Chaitanya Charitamrita sets 100 plus, including the languages. So this comes up to almost like total books comes up to almost like 22,000 plus cases per year. So when we usually place order on a Monday and we get order on the shipment on Friday, and we try to arrange them using the devotees' help either on Friday night or Saturday morning. We wanted to achieve these 3 areas of improvement in the 2018 meeting, 2019 early January meeting. So we wanted to track the complete order, yearly orders we do for the whole year, that we were able to do this year. And we wanted to have somehow make devotees return the books to the proper places so that it's not too much of a hassle to again place them in the proper areas. This is still work in progress. Some devotees return, some don't. And the other area we wanted to achieve is label all the areas where we keep books so that they can be easily found when they want to take out. So we did get started on this. We have some paper labels right now, but we did get a plastic one so we can put there, but we haven't put them there yet. In 2019, things we could have done better to help the devotees distribute better is making sets. We usually make on a Saturday morning or Sunday evening, probably organize better. Corporate devotees wants to help. They have voluntary hours. They can come and do the sets. And December marathon, this BBT closes like mid of December. And we can only hold so many books even though we cramp them in the book room and book shed and even offsite storage, we can still not be able to meet our devotees' enthusiastic distribution. This time we had to borrow some books from Sacramento for a distribution. In 2020, we want to improve these things. So organize better making sets, like try to see which is a cheaper ribbon that matches, or have books on time to get when devotee wants to make sets, Trimurti or Panchatattva or Saptarishi sets. Label the areas of the books, complete the work started last year. And we would like to encourage and let devotees know where to keep the books so that it's easier to manage keeping the place clean. Also, we want to manage the storage space. If we want to beat India, we should probably get India size go down. So for now, we just have the shed and the book room. So we are trying to manage, maybe distribute some of the books to the remote areas, like Tri-Valley have some, and maybe Fremont, and for Western Sankirtan Chaitanya Prabhu place and things like that. So we request all the Sankirtan devotees, all the teams, so please report and encourage devotees to report all the books that are distributed. So basically sometimes what happens, somebody wants to distribute, they take books from the devotees, but they don't get reported. So please try, whenever you are giving books to somebody, please make sure that book is getting reported. And when you are returning books, please try to keep them in respective places. When you are taking books, please make sure that the books are in order how they were before you. Sometimes you take out boxes and forget to keep them back. And if you have plans to distribute a certain book in a huge quantity, please let us know in advance so we can order and have the books ready for you. Thank you.
You know, it's these foundational services like infrastructure, planning, statistical analysis, inventory. That's the unseen part of the book distribution. But I think that we get our biggest gains in these areas by being organized. It's the number 4 law of book distribution, and the work that you do behind the scenes that nobody really notices as much is it's one of the most important, all of these behind the scenes fundamental points. So thank you very much. A couple of thoughts I had this year about bunching the books together, putting them in book packs, is that there's got to be a better way to put ribbons on books besides manually and each one just wrapping them. I'm just thinking if we search high and low, we'll probably find some elastic kind of situation where you can just snap it on, or something that gets more automated. Of course, we don't want to put anybody out of work, but I think there may be better packaging solutions, like as I just said. And the other point about the sets and packaging, I thought we could also make them event specific. So, for instance, imagine if you're doing the pumpkin festival and you wrap them in packs and then you have a little pumpkin on each one. It'll make it a really attractive thing. It looks like you fit in there. It's like, yeah, this is what we do, the pumpkin festival. And, you know, if it's at Diwali, there could be a sticker that we make ahead of time, or something that hangs off the ribbon that indicates Diwali. You know, it's obviously a Diwali gift. And if it's a rock and roll concert, you know, there's a guitar on it or something like that. But I think that a lot could go into packaging, because we're really looking to increase the the number of books that go out all at one time. And when you talked about about devotees transferring books, what did you mean exactly? Like somebody's handing books out of their car to somebody else's car? And
Yeah, I have observed like previously some, not from the teams, but some individuals, like they want to distribute. They come sometimes take books, but they don't get reported eventually.
Last year, during the December marathon, we had two big events, which is day after Thanksgiving Harinam and the December 20th Harinam. And Prabhu and Tarun Prabhu not only packs, arranges and everything, but they make sure they transport all the books, bring them back, report them. So a lot of background services which not many devotees can see so much. But without them being there, we actually are not enabled to distribute books. So grateful for this.
I just to want to add, Malini Mataji, that in Fremont Independence Day Parade, all these like moving places, and Venudari Prabhu comes before the festival. He organizes where to keep the books, and thank you, Prabhu, for this great service. Hare Krishna.
So, Venudari Prabhu actually, whenever I come to the temple, when I see him smiling, when lifting, heavy books all the time. But there's sometimes I see it back, he has special fixtures on his body to take care about that one. But not only once, twice, three, throughout the years, his face is always never agitated or, annoyed. I think it tells about how deeply he cares about this service. But more importantly, with his humility, the way he serves, I think today I'm surprised how he's on the stage. He somehow was probably lured into to come to the stage. So very motivating and so inspiring. Thank you, Prabhu.
I forgot to mention, we are hiring too. If you feel like you had too much pressure last week, or you just forgot to go to gym or something, you can always come and help us out.
Thank you. This was one of our last presentations before we end the broadcast. Because, Selva Prabhu, sorry. Selva Prabhu is here. So we'll do his Smart Box presentation. So after the Smart Box presentation, we have to end the broadcast. After that, we'll have another presentation without the broadcast. So, Selva Prabhu, if you can present quickly. He's the king of the smart boxes. All the smart boxes that were placed so far in Bay Area were all placed by Selva Prabhu. Not only that, he's the only one who is actually maintaining all the smart boxes. So for past many years. So thank you, Selva Prabhu. Please.
I think before Selva Prabhu took the smart box in charge, he was doing the shipping the books, like Venudari Prabhu doing in the Bascom temple. Now we have 80 plus smart boxes. Even he moved to Dublin. He goes each and every smart box, give them calendar and prasadam to the people, and that's a great service. As Vaisheshka Prabhu told, even while you are sleeping, you are distributing books. So, thank you, Selva Prabhu. Go on.
Hare Krishna. Thanks for inviting to me. So in Silicon Valley, we have more than 85 smart boxes in Bay Area. So this program started before, I think, 2013 or before. I took for 2015 to the services. Before that, the program started. So what we have it currently, totally for 85 smart boxes throughout the Bay Area. So we have two type of the smart boxes, one for 3-tier smart boxes, one for 4-tier smart boxes. So this is the call for 3-tier smart boxes. First we place smart boxes with the donation box, all the stores. Then we slowly add one more layer because the books are changed, size are changed. Then we add more boxes. As the Guru Maharaj said, more you show, more you sell. That policy we follow. So that we are adding for almost 18 smart boxes, all the 4-tier boxes. Then we have, how we arrange the books is, each books we have a label, all the label in the back side, and also put for the front side. So 2 label for each book. So this purpose was, I noticed that 2 years back, some in the restaurant people come, they even not taking the books, just take the books, they see in the back side and front side, just we want to show that temple name, more advertisement purposes. So that, and also they're making the books in the home, that after some day, when they read the books, they don't forget where it's coming in from books. That way we put the labels all the places. Then also we put the small tag, the price tag, all over all the books. Last year, we almost distribute 105 southbound and 593 small books. So totally we collected for $2,072. So currently we have, this is the location, we have the smart boxes in California, South Bay and East Bay and Tri-Valley. And also we are working with other temples, Denver and Dallas temple. And we have tie-up with the New Jersey temple also. We are going to tell the smart box all the details. So in 2020, we have had more non-Indian store. Currently, we have only for few stores, non-Indian stores, like Philippine store and Japanese stores. We are giving that, not even other language also, we are keeping the books also. And also we are to expand for more cities and more other states also. We are working that one. And also, we are hiring. So we expand the team. We need for more team members, our smart boxes. That only we can easily manage the smart boxes. As for mercies, as for blessing, we are doing the services. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
In the past, you had done some presentations at public programs like the Sunday program, inviting people in their own areas to place smart boxes. Were you part of that era?
Yes, Maharaj. We are doing that one also.
Oh, okay. You're doing it during the Sunday programs?
Sunday program not.
I was just saying it would be a part of the announcements. You say, by the way, we have these smart boxes. You can place them in your area, because sometimes in the past we were getting people who shop at a place regularly, and then they had a relationship with the store owner, and they would take smart boxes out and place them.
Yeah, most of them, yes.
I'm just recommending that we could try that again if you think it's a good idea.
Okay, yes, Maharaj, yeah.
What Prabhu is referring is, you can have a Sunday program, have a table or show in the announcements.
Okay.
We have smart box. Somebody, Dan will comes to our temple, they can take it.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
What about putting a tracking device so we know where they all are? I mean, and I also wanted to hear, somebody said he wanted wanted to make the smart boxes smarter, and I wanted to hear about something about that topic too. How to make? Here you go.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Actually, this is about Arabic books. So we are setting up smart, not very smart boxes. We are setting, we're just giving out books and then they keep them somewhere. So many of the shopkeepers have now agreed to put a donation box as well. But then we were thinking about your 4-tier smart box, or is there any 6-tier smart box as well?
Yeah.
Anything? Yeah.
We tried, Prabhu. Actually, we tried, Prabhu. We could not find out. We are working with the vendor to create more stack, because the main goal is we want to reduce the space, but more books. That way, I want to work on that one. We'll find out, then we can work out, Prabhu. 6 tiers from our box.
Prabhuji, is it possible to have a small mini book vending machine maybe that can track, it can deliver the books and also take the payment?
Yeah, we'll try, Prabhu. Actually, we find out the good store owner, we can find out, Prabhu. We can do that one, vending machine.
I think Vaisheshko Prabhu also once I mentioned kiosk box, like a vending machine, like airports, they have everything now on that. So maybe you can venture us with that.
Okay, Prabhu, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I feel like yoga studios would be a good place to put the smart boxes, because I know Tukaram Prabhu from Laguna Beach, he gets a lot of his students from yoga studio sessions.
Yes, Mataji, we tried 3 years back yoga studio also. Somehow we removed it because books not moving, because of nobody taking the books. Some owners don't want the books also. We'll try it again, the yoga studios also. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Now we have 2 minutes or 5 minutes of Govind Prabhu. So he's doing Kirtan programs all over the Bay Area, and he's distributing many books with that. Unfortunately, we don't have slides, but he can speak. Thank you, Govind Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. This was unplanned, but so so this effort is really small in comparison to all the other book distribution efforts. But over 2 or 3 years, we've been able to increase the number of books, and hopefully we can do it even more. So in 2019, we did 51 events, and we actually got about 2,000 book points, and raised about we got 8,000 Lakshmi points, $8,170 or something. So I would like to solicit your all your good ideas and good wishes and referrals for actually increasing the number of events, because I think that is the number one driver for increasing book points and the other impact, engagement, etc. So this year I would like to do 100 events if possible. And for that, we would do events on a Saturday afternoon as well as a Saturday evening. A few ideas have been discussed as to how we can do it. Sri Gopal Prabhu said you should put flyers in the Indian stores. So we actually made this. We experimented with this flyer. We're going to just putting it out, soft copies. We can distribute them through WhatsApp or through referrals, or we're going to put them in Indian stores as well. I actually made a revision to the business card that we have. We have a website now with more information. We have a very nice video from Vaisheshika Prabhu, and so these are some improvements. But the main thing that has worked from what we have seen is referrals, your friends, your colleagues or even your relatives. Satya Prabhu did, his relative did one event last year. I think Manjula Kanta Mataji is thinking maybe if she can convince one of her relatives this year, and so on. And I'm looking for new ideas. One of the ideas is do a tie-up with Bhagavad Seva project, because when someone gets Bhagavatam set, we can go to their home and do a 1 hour program in which we do Bhagavad Katha and then maybe some Kirtan also. And so the idea is to tap the social network of people who may not come to the temple otherwise, but they can be influenced very well through someone who is favorable. So I'm open to comments and questions.
So I just want to tell one thing that we've been doing with Naveen Nirada Prabhu is the Harinams right before the Sunday program at 3 p.m. It's basically, we call it the Blitzkrieg. We just go to Mountain View downtown and basically starting from City Hall all the way to the farmer's market, that area, just doing the one side of the street and back. It takes like 40 minutes and people like it. And on Sunday it's enough people unless it rains. And also we were distributing invitations to temple. And I don't know, I just want to put it out, just for consideration. I feel like it's a good way to invite people right away. There's not so many of them will be, but sometimes you invite people, they come right away, especially young people, they don't have anything else to do. Like in the very end, like we had 3 days, like 3 different Sundays we did the Harinam. And in the end of one of those days, we met a guy like at the car in the very end of the Harinam, and he was going to the bar to drink. And we said, hey, here's the alternative for you. So he received the Bhagavad Gita, and we gave him, he didn't come that night, but still, people just, they don't know what to do with their time, especially young people. They have no idea. They fill up gaps with something.
So the service is actually at people's home. It's not outside.
Yeah.
So that's just one context.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
Yeah, just to give an idea. Yeah.
Any other? I think broadcast is not. Still
I was just wondering, does the BBT print songs of the Vaishnavacharyas in scripts other than Devanagari and Bangla? I've only seen it in those scripts, but you had a list of languages, and if you had, I just know that, in the past, when I was a kid and we were doing programs at people's houses, if a lot of people don't, if they're South Asian, they don't like to read songs in Roman script, and they can't necessarily read Devanagari or Bangla. And so if you can find Telugu or you can find Nepali copies of everything, and you have like a package of songs, and we have songs in other languages, right? They're not all in Bangla and Sanskrit. So we have Hindi songs. Like in the 80s, we used to do these programs with Lokanath Maharaj, and we had all this book of Hindi songs because, they weren't just Bangla songs like my mother put together, actually, or Maithili songs like by Vidyapati. Then if you kind of show off that packet, then maybe people will be like, oh yeah, it would be really great if you guys could come to my house and we could sing these songs that we can all read, actually, like their parents and stuff. I don't know if that exists, or we could print it out from the web also.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I made some Google Docs with some Devanagari. Yeah, any other comments? So, even if you can't think of something right now, please get in touch with me later. Thank you.
Thank you, Govind Prabhu. Thank you for your enthusiasm in Kirtan and then how you're channeling it to distribute more books and home programs. Before our last presentation, we have to end the broadcast, but I know this was a lot of work put in by all the devotees, especially the leaders who were driving to come up with these presentations. Everybody had their own brainstorming sessions earlier. They took all the points, they put it into a presentation. And now that we have collected all these, we are going to put each of them as goals for each MSF. That is going to be one of our goals for Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. So this is a lot of work. Thank you so much for doing it selflessly. So we want to thank all the leaders who have put in through all these presentations. Now we'll end the broadcast. And the next presentation will be Her Grace Shraddha Devi